I'm outside a wet federal court in Manhattan, where we are about to start day 9 of the criminal trial against Sean Combs. Today, we're going to be hearing testimony from rapper Kid Cudi, who has said through a spokesman that his car exploded in 2012 following threats by Mr. Combs that was contained in a $20 million civil suit filed by Cassie. Today is expected to be the first time that the rapper is going to go into detail.
I am Andy Signor, and yes, Kid Cudi entered the building wearing a jacket, smoking a cigarette, seemingly calm, collected, ready to tell the truth under oath in this court of law against Sean Diddy Combs. Reports say that he took the stand, but Combs whipped around to get a good look at him as he entered the court. When they said that he would be the next witness, Combs whipped back in his chair to get a look at him.
We are also expected to hear more testimony from Combs' employee, George Kaplan, who testified yesterday that he helped set up hotel rooms for the hip-hop mogul, stocking them with lube, baby oil, and Mr. Kaplan also said that he picked up drugs from Mr. Combs on several occasions.
Kid Cudi had never talked publicly about the firebombing of his vehicle till he came here to court to testify at the trial of Sean Combs. There he was in the witness box in a leather jacket, white shirt, jeans, talking about the time he got a phone call from his dog walker saying his car was on fire. He raced home, remembering seeing his Porsche 911 Cabriolet on fire and seeing a bottle on the ground.
On Thursday, Kid Cudi stepped into the Manhattan courtroom and launched into a gripping story about what exploded after Mr. Combs uncovered his secret romance with Cassandra Ventura. The rapper told the jury that the music tycoon's jealousy went nuclear, accusing Combs of barging into his unlocked Los Angeles house without permission and later arranging the fiery destruction of his treasured Porsche 911. Prosecutors jumped on that tale, arguing it shows Combs treated violence like a business tactic while steering a crime syndicate soaked in sex-trafficking and racketeering. The mogul has pleaded not guilty, yet Cudi, born Scott Mescudi, insisted he is sure the Molotov cocktail that gutted his sports car could be traced straight back to Combs, even though the defense maintains he was simply not involved. Kid Cudi pressed rewind to a chilly December morning in 2011. Shortly after sunrise, Cassie phoned him in frantic whispers, explaining that Combs had uncovered their relationship and was furious. Her shaky voice made Kid Cudi's pulse thunder inside his ears as she urged him to lie low. Seconds later, Cudi's phone rang again, delivering a sucker punch from one of Combs' own employees. The caller revealed the mogul and an associate had already drifted through Cudi's Hollywood Hills entryway, padding across hardwood floors like uninvited ghosts. A personal line the rapper believed was brazenly crossed. Heart racing, Cudi called Combs, fired off a string of angry words, and demanded to know why the mogul was trespassing. Combs' voice floated back like cold smoke, answering, "I'm over here waiting for you." Cudi grabbed his keys, sped home, and prayed for courage. When he burst inside, picture frames were tilted, drawers hung open, and his dog whimpered behind a locked bathroom door, while Combs had already slipped away. "I wanted to confront him," Cudi testified. "I wanted to fight him." With adrenaline still surging, the rapper dialed the police and filed a formal complaint, but the tension only got hotter. In January 2012, his dog sitter called in terror to report that Cudi's bright blue Porsche was engulfed in flames in the driveway, the very threat Cassie later told the court Combs had once shouted. Jurors collectively gasped when prosecutors projected high-resolution photos of the charred sports car across the big courtroom screens, while Combs, wrapped in a gray cashmere sweater, answered with a bored yawn. A few weeks later, destiny threw the two men together at an exclusive Los Angeles nightclub crowded with celebrities and flashing cameras. Cudi extended a cautious handshake, locked eyes with Combs, and asked, "What are we going to do about my car?" The mogul's face froze. He leaned in with an icy stare and replied, "I don't know what you're talking about." In court, Cudi, dressed in a sleek black leather jacket, crisp white tee and stone-washed jeans, told jurors he viewed that denial as a flat-out lie. Nearly 3 years passed before they met again, and Combs suddenly announced he wanted to apologize for everything, yet never explained what everything covered. Cudi admitted, "That's the last thing I expected to get from him." The afternoon session shifted gears when Frederick Zamor, manager of a 5-star Beverly Hills hotel, read from staff logs describing how Combs left suites in shocking disarray, candle wax splattered on mahogany tables, sheets soaked, and excessive amounts of oil streaking the marble floors. Zamor noted it often took a cleaning crew hours to scrub away the mess, and one entry even mentioned broken mirrors. Prosecutors argued those props fueled Combs's infamous freak-offs, all-night marathons he reportedly staged with Miss Ventura. Ventura has said she remained in those sessions only because she feared Combs' violent moods, a claim backed by makeup artist Mila Morales, who testified with trembling hands. Morales painted a grim picture from Grammy Week 2010. She saw Combs stride into Ventura's bedroom suite. Minutes later, behind the closed door, harsh yelling, loud thuds, and what sounded like furniture scraping echoed through the hallway. When the door finally opened, Ventura staggered out with a swollen eye, a busted lip and knots rising on her head, Morales recalled. The witness wrapped a towel around the singer, bundled her into a car, and drove to her own home, where a trusted doctor friend urged an emergency room visit, but Ventura refused, shaking from fear. Prosecutor Maureen Comey then asked how Morales felt while tending to those wounds. Morales' voice cracked. "I feared for my life," she confessed, adding, "because if he could do that to her." Defense lawyers snapped an objection, cutting her off mid-sentence. The case had opened hours earlier with George Kaplan, Combs's former personal assistant, dropping bombshell after bombshell. Kaplan described a wild scene aboard Combs' private jet in 2015, while several aides relaxed nearby. A shattering crash erupted from a curtained compartment, peeking through the partially open door. Kaplan spotted Ventura sprawled on the carpet as Combs towered above her, gripping a whiskey glass. There was tremendous commotion and scuffle, Kaplan testified, and then after the glass crashed, Cassie screamed, "Isn't anybody seeing this?" Kaplan admitted no one moved a muscle. When Comey pressed him on that choice, the then 23-year-old assistant answered, "It would not have been in keeping with what I was trying to accomplish professionally." Under spirited cross-examination, defense attorney Mark Agnifilo got Kaplan to concede he did not observe visible injuries on Ventura that night or later. Kaplan also revealed he appeared only under subpoena and a court-ordered immunity deal. "I desperately did not want to come here today," he told jurors, voice heavy with reluctance. The assistant's next tale landed like thunder. Later in 2015, Combs summoned him by intercom inside the mogul's Los Angeles mansion. Kaplan rushed to the master bedroom and found Ventura sobbing on the bed, whimpering, with dark bruises swelling over her right eyebrow. Combs coolly ordered Kaplan to buy ice packs, ointment, and arnica cream to bring the swelling down. Kaplan's breaking point came after he saw Combs hurl shiny red apples at yet another woman during a separate outburst, leaving fruit pulp splattered across the designer kitchen tiles. Shaken to his core, he handed in his notice the very next day, telling the jury, "I was not comfortable or aligned with the physical behavior that had been going on, that I had seen pieces of." Despite everything, Kaplan confessed he still respected Combs' lightning-sharp business instincts. "This is a god among men talking to me," he said, voice trembling between admiration and fear. Assistant U.S. attorneys stitched these fierce stories together, reminding jurors of earlier witnesses who described hidden firearms, secret surveillance gear, and employees too scared to speak out. They argued that every new incident fit a relentless pattern of intimidation, a pattern they say turned Combs's glittering empire into a personal fiefdom ruled by fear. By day's end, the jury sat frozen, absorbing a whirlwind of break-ins, firebombs, bruises, shattered glass, and whispered apologies, each detail tightening the government's claim that Sean Combs maintained control through intimidation and raw power.